Welcome back to the UNX Championship Series. I'm Chris DeGangi.
And I'm Ethan Swanson, and we are here for the last qualifier ever of the first UNX season. And we're at Jungle Gym in the Southeast region trying to find 3 more men, 3 more women to make it to the last major. We're closing out our season.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming down to the wire here. Caleb Bergstrom down at Jungle Gym going to put together an awesome course for these athletes. And we have a stacked group, and they need to get in if they want a chance at the major.
Right. I mean, it literally all comes down to this. There's a lot of people that are on the bubble in our season. And remember, you have to be in the top 8 on the men's or women's side to make it to the championship after the 3rd major. And there's some people that are sitting right outside of that bubble that need to punch their ticket to the 3rd major in order to even have a chance to get to the championship. This is so exciting.
And even if you don't have season points at this point, getting into that 3rd major means a shot at $18,000 worth of prize money. So, I mean, there's a lot on the line here.
Yeah, this is going to be such an exciting competition. And especially this last round has been so stacked. This competition is no exception. And looking at the women's field of athletes, we have Elena Borges sitting in 3rd place overall, not qualified for the 3rd major. Ashley McConville, Ava Calasanti, Caitlyn Bergstrom, Taylor Johnson came out here. I mean, the list goes on. Jamie Ross, Charity LeBlanc, the women's side is stacked.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many strong competitors but on the men's side, too, I mean, Drew Drechsel is coming out for this one. He's already guaranteed, but he'll be competing. Caden Lebsack, already guaranteed. But then we've got Sam Folsom, needs to make his way back. Right. Hunter Gerard's got some season points.
Can't forget Jake Murray sitting in 1st place in this season. Nick Fordney, Max Feinberg already qualified. Connor Galvin, Luke Dillon, who missed qualifying with 1 spot at Real Life Ninja Academy. David Wright, Jackson Twade, Anthony DeFranco, Joe Capo, Todd Bourgeois. I mean, like, there's people that we didn't even mention. This has got to be one of the most stacked competitions I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome to watch, and I cannot wait to get to the action.
Well, let's get into the action then. And starting with our first runner, we have Cameron Drake stepping up to the starting line. And here we go, and he's off through our first obstacle. No problem for Cameron. Then the descending curve.
Up to the fly wall, he's up and over.
Yep. And so as soon as you touch that first string, that's a clear on the fly wall. Taking 1 backswing here. Otherwise, really fast from Cameron so far.
Yeah, I really like the pace that he's going here. He's not really stopping between obstacles.
And I love this. You're running so early, and I love he has the huge sense of urgency. He knows that this course you're going to have to move fast. It's only a 3-minute and 15-second time limit, which is pretty short even for UNX standards. But he's moving very quickly through this course.
Yeah, certainly a speed course here. Coming up on 50 seconds.
Now onto the Rolling Thunder, just got to touch that next bar, clear. And here we go. Now this is a section of a bunch of different moves. There's a pipe slider to a trampoline. Ooh, I think he could have made it the trampoline there.
Well, now you have to be so controlled when you make this move, get to the trampoline.
That was really nice. One-handed grab.
Making it look good right now.
Is he going for a reverse transfer? Wow, that was really nice. So now this landing pad is also starting platform for the next obstacle, so you have to stay on this pad. There's not a lot of space there. His feet getting close.
He's looking good right now.
Yep.
Moving on to the undercling.
And this
I like this, taking a bit of rest.
Very different. Also, you can see none of the other athletes can see this obstacle. So this is a big question mark for a lot of competitors. And they're not going to be able to learn anything from Cameron here.
Well, this is an obstacle you want to be really controlled on. It's very... Oh, no! Couldn't make the reach to the second undercling. And you can see, I mean, his feet are on tiny ledges, and you just have to be so controlled when you make your way over, and just the smallest bit of movement in your legs, and you could pop off like he did.
Well, it's the undercling, and like you're saying, you have to, there's a little bit of a lip on the inside of those holds, but it's really strange. You're kind of pulling yourself down against those holds, and every move feels like you're pressuring your whole body into the wall. But I think that one is going to be really difficult as this time goes on. I haven't seen any obstacle like that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a new obstacle here, but honestly, a great pace and, you know, a good run from Cameron.
I mean, that was super fast, but we have Anthony DeFranco stepping up right now, who is even faster. I mean, he's been known to speed through courses, and here we go.
through the jungle vines.
Yep. And now the downward curve shouldn't be any problem for Anthony, and it isn't.
He's going up and over the fly wall here.
And that's a clear, so you touch that first.
Wait a second.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you could see he just slipped.
So Anthony Franco is an insanely fast athlete, and I think he was trying to hop over the wall and jump back with that ring and maybe didn't consider how much force is going to be pulling on him one arm, and that was just it. He slipped off the ring, and you can't touch the ground there. That's out.
I mean, that's a huge mistake there, but at the same time, I mean, it's a product of, you know, potentially running early and you know, not really getting to see a lot. But, I mean,
I think
it's
you're
holding
exactly
onto a
right.
ring, but
It's so tough when you're running that early. Anthony DeFranco could take top 3 at any competition. He's really strong, but there's a crazy amount of competitors here that are going to be trying to take top 3, and he's got to set himself apart and maybe take some risks that, in this case, didn't pay off.
yeah, unfortunately. But next up, we've got Charity LeBlanc.
Charity, no stranger to competing under the bright lights. Been on American Ninja Warrior a bunch of times, and we'll see how she does on this course. Moving on to the fly wall. Nice, easy grab.
And it's definitely awkward coming over that wall and having to hold onto that ring. It's a
Right.
pretty big drop.
And you see she's got a little bit of an angle swing too, and that's something that change of direction, going from the wall to the ring to the next ring, isn't the easiest thing to do smooth.
And you can see so much of the athlete's body being used here. You've got the lower body to get up and over the walls. You're using your upper body on the rings. You're swinging. This is definitely an obstacle that's going to burn some energy.
For sure. Basically just how many swings is it going to take you to get through it. Now we're on to the steel trap. I mean, this is an 8-foot lache, up 1 foot, and she's got it. And we have another humongous lache to a preloaded trapeze.
Yeah, the
Got
trapeze preloaded. It's held up by magnets, so as soon as you catch it, it's going to drop on you.
Which I think if you're ready for, it makes the catch easier. It makes it a smoother catch, less of a jolt, and we see Charity getting through it. And now stepping up to Storm is coming.
Storm's coming.
Making her way up. Remember, once she touches that next bar, she can make as many moves on this Rolling Thunder as she wants. As soon as she touches that bar, that's a completion on this obstacle.
Yeah, this is a big, heavy obstacle.
And cleared. In about 1 minute and 30 seconds, going up to the pipe slider. Trying to figure out how she's gonna.
Well, you want to pull back here. Oh, pops off.
Oh, man.
Oh, tough landing there. But, I mean, I like the strategy she was trying to use, which was you want to pull back, get your hips in the right spot, and then match your hands so that you have some momentum for the pipe slider. But unfortunately, her hand popped off on the front side, and then she was hanging by one hand on the back side, and then popped off as well.
Well, it's especially tough because on that static bar, you're down low, and then up higher is the bar that spins. So when you're here, more of your weight is on that higher hand, and it wants to pull out on you. So it's like you said, pull back, match, and I would go mixed grip, just me. But easier said than done right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to hold on one hand to a spinning bar.
Yeah. But next up, we have Gary Park stepping up to the starting line. Gary's had a couple of really amazing runs just coming off of St. Louis, performed really well there, got really deep into the course. Let's see how he does.
Yeah, Gary's an athlete. I think, you know, he's performed well at UNX. He just hasn't put together that one run that sets him into the top 3, but I definitely think he's capable.
Downward curve, no problem. Taller athlete probably could have stepped off that trampoline. Got that. Wow, that was a really nice transition.
That was really nice, and I like how he's setting his body up here. Nice one-arm swing there to the next wall.
No problem. Yes.
And the height advantage here is great for Gary, making use of it.
Yeah. Now onto the steel trap. No pullback at all.
Nice.
Wow, that
Goes
was
right into it.
And you see that save. You can use the column. He almost fell back into the nose land zone. But
All
he's
right,
good.
take a deep breath, Gary.
And this is such a fast course. Oh, getting a little squirrely there. And he's got his hands on that bar. Okay. The pullback.
Nice. Ooh.
Is he at the end? Uh-oh.
He could have gone there. See, now when you get to the end of this pipe slider, it's so difficult now. Oh, okay, resetting back. I think he wants to make this one move.
Yes, that's the way
Perfect.
to do it. I love the clarity in his head to go back to that bar and make the easy transition. Because I think once you're stuck at the end of the bar, it's such a weird thing. You don't know how much that bar is going to move when you lâcher off of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And a nice transition there. Gary, I mean, this is what we've seen from him time and again. He's putting together these really good runs, and we'll see if he can close this out. Come on.
Here we go. Looks like he's taking a breath, checking out the undercling. We saw Cameron Drake get here, but couldn't clear it. We'll see what Gary has in store for us.
And these athletes have not touched these obstacles, so you don't really exactly know what to expect when you get your hands in there.
Look at that reach, though. He's able to span those so easy. It's so smart. You know, you have an advantage like that, use it as much as you can.
Just keep those feet on, keep those feet on.
Now you got another high hold there. This one doesn't have any feet associated with it. You got to get to the black pad around the corner.
This is a tough move right here.
Oh,
nice.
Great job. Now he's going on to our third to last tired of tires agility obstacle.
And he's at 225, getting some water here. Smart. You know, it's a fast course.
It is a very fast course, but he's only got 45 seconds left. Oh, hey, don't forget about the agility obstacle, Gary.
Well, running early, nobody's gotten to this point yet, and so,
No problem.
you know, easy to overlook something.
Very easy. 30 seconds left. Not a lot of time. We got two obstacles, one of which is the missiles. Oh my gosh, those all free spin. He's grabbing on the front. That is not easy to do. Oh my God.
Extremely impressive. Has to make the dismount here.
Nice. And that's so much harder for a taller athlete, but he's got 10 seconds left. You have to go, Gary.
Go, go, go.
Now this obstacle is insane. It's snapback with cliffhanger
5 seconds
holds.
left.
5 seconds. If he touches the second set,
It's gonna drop here.
Oh, man.
Well, he was timing out. Even if he had made it to the second set, I don't know if it would have counted. Running out of time there, 3 minutes and 15 seconds, such a tight time limit. But honestly,
Very
I
tight.
was extremely impressed with that run.
Yeah, especially running so early, getting that deep in the course like that. Gary did amazing. But that last obstacle, I want to talk about it a little bit. It is broken up into two sections. So if you touch that second set, then you get a clear on the first half. So the further you get into, the more rewarded you are. If he would have gotten that next catch and then touched the next part, he would have gotten a point for completing the first half.
Yeah, and that is going to be a brutal obstacle.
Well, they're cliffhanger holds. I hope we see more of it, but they are literally cliffhanger holds, and it's not easy, and it moves on you and snaps around. It's crazy. It's called backlash, and the Bergstroms are insane. I love it.
I love it.
Next up, we have Luke Dillon stepping up to the starting line. He's running really early, but we just saw him at Real Life Ninja Academy and missed out on qualifying by one spot. Almost landed the dismount on flight risk and just barely missed out on qualifying.
Yeah, and so coming off, I mean, he competed last weekend. I mean,
yeah, he's been competing in his fair share of UNX qualifiers, and clearly a very strong athlete. And he's one of the young guns that I think, you know, we're going to see his name popping up all over the place across many leagues, not just UNX over the next couple of years, but I'm hoping he can put together a qualifying run here because he's so strong.
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
He's gonna connect.
Wow.
Oh, I thought he was gonna. I thought he had it. Just a little hesitation there.
Yeah, I mean, it is early in the course, and like if you're not sure, let's just make sure I get to the rest of the stuff, you know?
Much more important to continue moving on.
Right. But I would have liked to see it.
Well, now he's on to this Rolling Thunder, going to the next bar.
Storm is coming. Storm's passed. Here we go. Let's
You want
see.
to pull your hips back, match your hand on the bar.
That's a good pullback. Oh, you had it. And this is what we're talking about now. He slides back, and he's spending this extra time hanging, extra time. Oh, that was nice. That was really good.
A really smooth dismount, but I would like to see these athletes start to get more confident on that pipe slider.
Yep. Good transfer. He's got to control this dismount. Oh, it's good. That's a small area. That makes me nervous.
While he's chalking up here, I do have to admire Jungle Gym. This is our first time here. I love the look of this gym.
Dude, it's awesome. They went with literally Jungle Gym, and everything. Look, it looks like, you know, you're in the jungle.
Well, now Luke onto the undercling. We saw Gary tackle this. Got to be so controlled on these moves. It's a big reach.
Holy cow.
Oh, you can see the foot
my
slipping. You can see
Luke.
those ledges are not that big. You can see you have to keep your feet so controlled there.
Oh, and just going for the dismount. Unfortunately, didn't make it. And that move up is really difficult. There's no feet, so he was, a couple inches away.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was his strategy to kind of see if he could like skip that hold a little bit because there are no footholds there. But I would have liked to see him try it a little bit more controlled. I don't know if the time was good. It seemed like he was on that obstacle for a decent amount of time. I don't know if he was starting to panic.
Yeah.
Because the time limit is short.
Yeah, and like we say all the time, when you're competing, like a short amount of time feels like eternity. So he really wasn't on it for that long, but he was like that last transition. He was looking at it for maybe 5 seconds. It probably felt like 30 seconds to him.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have Josh Wagg stepping up the starting line. Let's see how he does. Looks like the undercling has been taking out a lot of athletes.
Yeah, I definitely expect that to be.
Well, it's so different.
Oh! I don't know if that was the camera angle or scared me a little bit.
Yeah, a little off balance, but he made it through. And now he's on to this obstacle, I think fittingly called Beat That Wall.
I like this obstacle with, it's your whole body obstacle. Got to use your legs, got to use your arms.
Well, you think about it, it's such a simple obstacle. It's just walls and rings. But, we haven't seen anything like it recently. And it's unique and it's simple elements used in a different way. I really enjoy when I see gyms using simple elements in unique ways.
Absolutely.
Caleb Bergstrom and Jason Bergstrom, so creative in this course design. Nice grab. This one is a little bit bigger, though. Oh.
Hesitating there a little bit.
Nice.
Makes the grab. And he makes the dismount.
Here we go. On to Storm is coming. Pushing about 1 minute and 20 seconds. Making some moves before he transitions to the bar. Here we go.
And we'll see if he has the confidence at the end of the pipe slider to try to go right off that first swing.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, this is not good. He's not going to get that bar back.
No.
He's going to have to lâcher for it. This is going to be a big lâcher.
It's doable. He can do it, but...
He's been swinging for a while, though. And we saw this last week on the pipe slider, a very similar obstacle at Real Life Ninja Academy. Somebody knocked it down the track, and once you knock that pipe slider away, it is not going to be handed back to you.
No, it is not, and that's on you. That's an athlete mistake, which is why that pipe goes down there. In real life, though, the pipe went down like 20 feet. So I think this one is savable. I hope we don't see it again, but I think other athletes watching are going to say, okay, if I put my hands in that pipe, I better be ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that was a tough exit for Josh. But next up, we have Isaiah Wakeham stepping up to the starting line right now.
Isaiah related to Isabella Wakeham, who's sitting in our top leaderboard on the season. Unfortunately, did not compete in this round because of her ankle injury that she suffered in the second major.
Yep, that is unfortunate. I know she'll be back at some point, but I think obstacles run in the family because we've seen Isaiah looking really smooth here.
Yeah, I mean, he's moving at good pace. Mm-hmm. Second major was Isabella's turn, but now see if it's Isaiah's turn.
Looks like he's getting a little bit of chalk before the steel trap. Like we said, this first move is 8 feet across, 1 foot up. Wow,
nice.
That was really nice. I thought he was going to connect the whole thing.
I thought, yeah.
Hey, 1 backswing isn't too bad. That's actually really nice.
Not too bad at all. Saves so much time, and you're not on your hands for that long.
Right. Here we go, okay.
Making it look good. Come on, 1 backswing and go for it.
Do it.
Yes!
Oh, he had it!
See, now you're stuck in this kind of no man's land where if you swing too much, that bar's going to slide back on you.
Just like that, we see you can't swing a lot.
Oh! Oh my gosh! A huge save on the trampoline there.
That was awesome. Oh, man. How did that not tip over on him?
I 100% thought the trampoline was going to tip back.
And that's a clear. Wow, what an amazing save.
Holy cow. That's got to go on one of my favorite saves on the season.
That was pretty sick. But here we go. Put it past you. You made a great save, but now we're on to undercling, which has been taking out quite a few athletes.
He's got the reach for it here. But now it's about foot placement. And you can see under the next one, there's not really a foothold.
Wow,
Nice.
that was really smooth and didn't even have to use his feet to stop himself on that last transition.
Nice. Makes his way through the tires.
And here we go on to the missiles. And we saw Gary Park just locking off through this on the front. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. Let's see how Isaiah takes it on. You can see him trying to feel that out.
He's going for that. I mean, these are
man.
free spinning. This is so difficult.
If your hands are even off a little bit,
Wow.
holy cow. That is so impressive.
Oh, no.
That's what we were just talking about, is your hands on the front like that. They do spin, so if you're off even by an inch and you pull the wrong way, there's no saving it. I actually would like to see athletes go two hands and pop through, because every time you touch, you're controlled. It's not going to spin on you unless you completely miss an entire hand.
Right, and you've got two hands on each one. There's more room to save it. Yeah, I think it's just so much more risky to go one hand on those.
All right, next up we have Thomas Stillings. You know, nobody's beaten this course yet, and Stillings has been so close on so many of our UNX qualifying courses to finishing. I'm hoping this is the time he can pull it together, because he's been consistently one of the top competitors, but just not in the top three.
Yeah, Thomas.
Oh, that was nice.
That was very nice. I mean, he's got a parkour background, and so he flows very nicely through a lot of these courses.
Yeah, he's a really, movement-based athlete, really flowy.
That was nice.
You can see in all the stuff he's thought about, how am I going to catch, where are my feet going to be, and he's connecting, all these movements. Really nice.
Taking a couple extra swings here.
He's got it. He's just being safe, I don't hate it, but I would have expected him to connect, I think, a little bit better. But, I think right now we haven't seen any finishers. He might be thinking, let me just finish this course. Let me get through, stay smooth, and beat this course. Because, Thomas has been at so many qualifiers he's seen. If you finish a UNX qualifier so far, you qualify.
I mean, he competed just last weekend at Real Life. Oh, I'm actually surprised. I thought Thomas would have gone off the one swing.
Me too. He must have not had the right angle or something. Oh, it moves.
Oh my gosh, you can see just barely gets his toes on the trampoline.
Heels were hovering over the black, but he's good. Caleb is right there.
Wow.
And Thomas moving on at about 1 minute and 30 seconds and clearing onto the undercling.
Well, he gets a clarification from Caleb there, wearing a Swanson shirt.
Hey-o.
Clarification from the judge, if he could use that edge.
And I think you see that from veterans like Thomas. While you're on the course, just the presence of mind to go, hey, let me just double check. Instead of being a silly DQ, maybe it was mentioned in the rules, but he's looking really smooth and controlled here. See how he approaches this last section. Ooh, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah,
He doesn't either.
I think you want to turn your hips, exactly what he's doing right now. See if you can get that right foot on. He's trying to figure it out here.
It's a lot of time on this obstacle.
And he makes it, nice. But now he's at 225 about. Got a couple obstacles left.
I like how he went right into tire to tires, in and out, boom, he's on the next obstacle. That took him no more than 5 seconds.
I mean, it's not an obstacle you really need to rest for. Just run through it.
And for Thomas especially, his agility's so good, I bet he was looking at that going okay, I know exactly what I got to do, and he just did it. He's grabbing on the front. Okay.
I think you're right. I'd like to see these athletes pop through with two
There we
hands.
go.
Yes.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, no! Well, you could see, he's facing backwards to make the dynos up, and he wanted to transition around so that he was facing forward for the next one, but it slipped.
And that is stuff I get, going like this. If you get to the top still facing this way, you are going to have to make a 180 transfer from spinning hold to spinning hold, versus we saw the way Gary Park and Isaiah do it. That transfer, when you hold on like this, much easier to do that transfer without having to do a 180 launch. But I feel he got his hands on it though too.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely thought he'd be able to make that move. Not somewhere I expected him to go out.
All right. Well, next up, we have Caitlyn Bergstrom stepping up to the course, sister of Caleb, who built and designed the course. And she was telling me before this competition, Caleb was actually a little bit mean about it when she was, "How's the course going?" I can't tell you anything.
Well, I mean, this is her home gym. I mean, I've expected her to compete well at some of the other qualifiers. She hasn't put together a run that I feel like lives up to her potential, but I hope we see it today.
Yeah, and like you said, home gym advantage. And I will say, almost all these obstacles are completely new and designed for this competition, but there still is something to be said about, hey, like even this bar, like she's done laches in this bar area before, and she's at her gym, doesn't have to travel. That means so much. Wow, she's got a lot of swing.
Yeah, makes it look good though.
Yeah.
I mean, for an obstacle like this, you've done laches at every gym. This shouldn't really be a huge difference maker.
That's true. And you're right.
Take a load
water
off.
break, yeah.
Get some water
But
there.
see, I'm not so sure about this, because I think, that pipe-sided trampoline, I think it's going to be a big differentiator for the women. And like right now she's resting before Storm is coming. I think this could come back to hurt her, depending on how long it takes her to touch that next bar.
I mean, we've seen how close some of these athletes have been on the men's and women's side to that trampoline. This is going to be a huge differentiator.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I like the rest there. I'd probably take it after this obstacle.
Let's see how she does here. You can tell she's trying to get a big pullback.
I like it. I like it.
Oh.
Didn't get quite as big as she wanted, but now we'll see if she can save it here. Gets the bar to the end of the track. You got to be so controlled.
Nice. Okay. Now we got a trampoline jump here. Obstacle isn't over yet.
Whoa, it's a little.
Don't do that. Come on, Caitlyn. And looks like she got her fingertips on the bar, but just shorted a little bit. Unfortunately, not a clear on drop or flop.
I'm actually really surprised about that. I definitely thought she would have had the power to make it up to that bar.
Yeah, I mean, me too. And I was talking to Caleb, course design and everything, and specifically talking about Caitlyn in that jump, and he's like, yeah, she's great on trampolines, and we've seen her great on trampolines,
Yeah.
and must have just been in the wrong position or something.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a good run. It's definitely put up a good time, so we'll see if that holds up.
Next up, we have Nick Fordney on the starting line, and we just saw him at St. Louis Ultimate Ninjas. Missed out on qualifying. He finished the course 2 seconds over the time limit.
And that's eating him up right now.
Well, we'll see what he's got here. He's been so close to finishing courses. Hasn't done it yet. I like that a lot. Nice and smooth. A little slip there. But connects that second ring to the last door. And that's really nice. Anytime you can save an extra backswing like that, that's great. I mean, that's 3 or 4 seconds just,
Wow, come on, go,
Do
go, go,
it.
go, go, yes!
Oh,
Yes!
it's been done.
Mwah.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Love to see that.
Yeah, that was so nice. And he didn't even feel like he was forcing it. Like, when you connect like that, it just looks so good.
There's just something about the confidence to be able to do that. It's great. We'll see how he does here on the pipe slider.
Oh, I like that. Do it.
Yes!
Wow. Yes, I want to see. I hope that kind of unlocked it for other athletes watching. That looked so easy.
And you can see how high he brought his hips up in the backswing, and it just gave him the momentum to get to that trampoline.
He is moving.
I mean, he's only at 1 minute and 15 seconds here.
Yeah. Well, we see, he's making great moves. He's connecting those laches. It all saves time. And like we saw Gary Park get to the last obstacle, not have a lot of time left. I think this is going to pay off for Nick. And using his reach here, so smart.
Well, this is a good foothold. Now he's got to get, it's a big reach.
Oh my
Oh, he's so
gosh.
stretched out. Oh my God, he's making me so nervous. Come on.
Hell,
Yes,
that looked
okay.
really nice. That looked really nice,
He was
comfortable.
so stretched out though. It definitely made me a little nervous.
But I like that though. He's a longer athlete. I don't think I could make that reach. But like if you have that advantage, use it.
Nice.
No problem
He's
there.
only at 2 minutes here. He's got plenty of time.
Tons of time. I mean, we say plenty of time, but he's got 2 obstacles. They're both very difficult, and now he's coming up a minute left. It's not a ton of time.
A minute for 2 obstacles? I mean,
Have you looked at these 2 obstacles though?
if you can pop your way through this one.
Yeah, which I'm betting
Shouldn't
Nick
take too
can.
long.
Pop,
Yeah.
pop, pop. Oh, look at. Uh-oh.
Nice.
All right, now he's got to turn around.
Nice.
Problem.
So smooth right now. Come on, Nick.
Oh,
I love
was
that. Gets his
beautiful.
hips back, makes the next catch, and shoots right off.
240.
Coming up on about 30 seconds, but this is, a
30
couple of
seconds.
quicker moves.
This is what I'm talking about. Didn't really have time to rest at all here. Here we go.
These are cliffhanger holds.
Come on, Nick.
So small.
on.
Yes!
Oh, yes! So he touches this next one. He gets a clear in the first half.
15 seconds left.
Got it. Oh! Oh my gosh, that obstacle is unbelievable. That's so brutal and punishing after all that. Those are cliffhanger holds.
Well, not only are they cliffhanger holds, but it's a blind catch. You have to get around and make the catch.
It's a blind catch. You can't see where you're going, and it's moving on you, so it's like double blind catch, and they're cliffhanger holds, and it's the last obstacle at the end of the course.
Diabolical.
Bergstroms, man, maniacs. But that's awesome.
Oh,
and
man.
he actually got a clear on the first half of that obstacle, which I think is so important. We saw, how hard it's going to be to make those catches. We'll see. I think that's going to be really important. Is getting that second one, getting the finish is going to be super important. I can see a lot of athletes getting there.
I think making that first catch on the first one is going to be so hard that that's going to be a separator for this competition.
I think you're right, but we also have Max Feinberg stepping up right now, already qualified for the 3rd major, younger athlete. We saw him at Movement Lab on the West Coast, so he's running very few nerves, I'm guessing.
Well, this is a run that I'm really excited for because I haven't seen Max compete much except for that one qualifier where he honestly crushed it.
He flew. He was going so fast.
And so I'm just excited to see kind of more of what Max's style is and how he attacks courses.
You think about your predictions for Major 3, huh? Yeah. Want to see more of this kid.
Exactly. I mean, he impressed me so much at that LA qualifier. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it was a fluke.
Oh, look at that. Do it.
Yes.
Yes. One backswing that entire section. So nice. Here we go on Storm is Coming. Like I said, you can make as many moves as you want on this Rolling Thunder to get to that pipe. Nice.
Gets over to the bar. We'll see if he.
I like.
On the pipe slider. Okay, he's going slow on the pipe slider.
Well, I like that he's confident in his choice.
I mean, yeah, he knew that was what he was going to do the entire time. Mm-hmm. Oh, just a nice little one-handed catch here.
He looks so smooth. I love watching him right now. He looks like everything he's thought about a lot. Yeah, I'm going to go up and catch one hand and swing right into it and make it look effortless. He's at about 1 minute and 20 seconds right now. On a really good pace.
And he's not resting either. He's just going. I mean, this speaks a lot to his endurance.
Right, and he's not resting, and you're looking at him. He doesn't look like he's breathing heavy. Like we see some athletes not rest, and they look like they're out of control, and they need the rest.
Oh, this makes me a little nervous. Okay, figures it out.
Okay.
Took a second to get to that second undercling.
Max, kind of a longer athlete also, being able to reach these holds.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
And gets the undercling. Oh my gosh! A huge save. His feet were so close, and he sprints right through the tires. I mean, he's moving now.
2
He
minutes.
knows he's confident that he can get through these obstacles. Obviously, he's not feeling tired.
Look at this. Oh my gosh. Wow, not a single backswing at all.
Pops back, makes the dismount.
We're not going to see anybody do it better than that. How can you?
I mean, he's got a full minute to figure out this obstacle.
Take some time.
take a second.
A rest. I mean, this is crazy. This is still relatively early.
And he's going right into it here.
All right, let's see it.
Oh,
no. And it looked like he grabbed a little too high on his right hand. His left hand was right on, but that right hand, it kind of then popped off onto the hold, and I think it was probably just a little jarring. Not sure where his hands are. But that's what we talked about, double blind.
I mean, yeah, blind catch, so difficult. But at the same time, I got to talk about this kid's speed because we saw in LA, he moved so fast. And then just now, as soon as he got through the undercling, he sprinted through the tires, sprinted, pop, up through the, missiles.
Dude,
I mean,
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the missiles, that was probably the most impressive part to me, is he was the first one. And I don't know if we're going to see many athletes repeat that, but just no backswing. Everything was connected through the missiles. A new, unique obstacle you'd never seen before, never touched, and doing it like that, that's amazing.
Yeah, a great run there. And next up, we've got Aiden Wood, another young competitor.
Yeah, another young competitor we've seen crush it. And we just saw him at Real Life Ninja Academy, miss out on qualifying. He missed the cargo net grab after the Viking ship, and he was on pace to take a qualifying spot. I've been so impressed with this kid. Such a good kid too. Like, you know, he's unassuming. You know, he's not out there like trying to prove to anybody that he's nuts. He just, when he is on a course, you know he's nuts. You see the stuff that he does and how much. Look at that, just connected. That looks so easy.
He's making it look good. I mean, we saw him finish at Warrior Jungle to qualify for the second major. Mm-hmm. Had a disappointing.
Oh my!
He's just connecting here.
Oh my! Jeez. Well, I was about to say, I've seen him on Instagram doing like 15-foot laches. Oh, 8-foot lache? Do you know 8-foot lache? Pfft, give me something hard, you know? That's probably what he's thinking.
Pulls back. Let's see if he does it.
Oh,
yes!
I love it.
Looked
He's
amazing.
at 50 seconds right now. Aiden is flying.
I mean, he's moving. But now, some more technical obstacles here on the back half. I'd like to see him maybe just slow down a little bit to get through these.
I don't want to see him slow down. He's blazing, man. He's looking so good.
But I want to see him on the back half.
Me too.
I want to see that last obstacle. Nice.
Jumps into it. Yeah, and this obstacle very different, really slow and controlled. Making that first reach. I like how he's adjusting his feet before he commits to that move fully. Oh!
Nice. Oh, no!
No.
It looked like he got his foot in a good spot. He got his hands up and under, but he didn't just go like some of the other athletes have been doing. Mm-hmm. But that's one of the things is that these athletes can't see that obstacle.
That's a very important part. That's like a mini isolation on just that obstacle. And I heard athletes were freaking out about that one. Even as people are going, it doesn't matter if you're running last or first, you don't get any more information on that obstacle.
Right.
And that's super important. But yeah, it looked like he grabbed and his body started turning, and you can't save it at that point unless you go for the dismount. Really unfortunate because he was flying.
Yeah, I mean,
so fast.
Unfortunately, this is our last qualifier. We won't see him again this season, but he is going to be a name to watch out for going forward, 100%.
Definitely. Another name to watch out for, Connor Galvin is up on the starting line. And, you know, I think he underperformed at the last competition going out on the Sinking Spider, which was a crazy shock, but I would be willing to bet that he's going to be coming back strong. And that kind of thing, I think it's got to eat him up, and he knows this is where I got to come out stronger.
Yeah, and I mean, that's such a lesson that you take into your next competition. Don't overlook anything.
Yep. Easier said than done, especially when you have so many cool, unique obstacles later in this course. It is hard sometimes to think about, hey, yeah, okay, I got to focus on these laches and make sure I have them. You know, I got to focus on...
Yes, connecting, yes.
So good.
Well, Connor has a gymnastics background, and that movement, so comfortable for him.
Mm-hmm. But that's one of the obstacles. He saw it when we're going through rules and was probably like, yes, this is exactly what I want.
There's always those obstacles during rules that you look at, you can't wait for.
Right, and for him, I think trampoline like this is one of those also. This is going to be like a no jump for him, I bet.
Nice and smooth. There's also those obstacles and rules that you look at that you do not want to get.
Your heart just drops in your stomach. And I think this is one of them, the undercling. It's so different. I feel like looking at it, where do you put your hands? Where do you put your feet? Where's your body position? Do you launch? Do you reach? Like, there's so many questions that go unanswered until you do it.
Absolutely. Big stretch
Pretty
out
flexible
there. I like this kind of controlled.
He's looking pretty smooth. And we just saw Aiden go out on this dismount. Oh!
He's so stretched out here.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, no.
Come on. Oh, get your feet back up.
What? Oh, and Connor slips, touches the ground. I mean, the fact that he was able to hold on that long with a hand underclinged and a hand over the top without any footholds, it was impressive enough, but unfortunately couldn't get his foot back on the foothold.
And that's it. It looked like he saved it. It looked like he caught and like even pulled himself up. I'm like, okay, he's going to get his foot back on and potentially save this thing. And then he missed that foothold completely and then just went down.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough spot. And again, you don't get to see how anybody else is doing that obstacle. And so definitely a game changer. But
oh, man, that's a couple of early falls right in a row that are tough. That's a hard obstacle.
Yeah, but now we've got Ava Colasanti, and coming off of a performance at Real Life Ninja Academy last week, didn't quite get the performance that she wanted to, and we'll see if she rebounds here.
Yeah, we saw her tap her hand down on the monster jump and just get a disqualification, so hey, I like that.
Well, we saw her in the second round of qualifiers at center court, took first place.
She's so good and she's so strong. And Anthony Franco, one of her coaches, he was telling me at center court, hey, watch out for this Ava girl. I was like, you know what? Everybody's got their local competitor that's good and everything. But she came out, she proved it right away that she's somebody to watch out for. And she's moving through really confident now. I like what I'm seeing. Let's see how she does on these laches.
Nice.
Pretty easy lache for her. Nice.
Gets that bar.
I like it. Catch, single backswing, off. She's not spending too much extra time, just getting on and off these obstacles. She's at about a minute right now.
Taking a little time to eye this up here.
Mm-hmm. Here we go on. Storm is coming, making her way to the Rolling Thunder. And making some moves here.
Just got to get to that bar. I'd like to see her swing out and reach that bar. Yep,
there you
go.
It is. That's a clear, and here we go. We haven't seen any women's athletes past this obstacle yet.
Well, you got to get a nice pullback, match your hands,
Like
and go. That's okay. She's still in a position here.
Oh, no.
Well, you don't want to get too much of a swing here. That bar's to slide back on you.
Oh, no. Gets her toes on the trampoline. Probably less than an inch short. If she was a little bit further forward, I think she would have been able to save it. But unfortunately, you saw, just like you said, that bar slid back when she tried to throw off of it. That's a really hard dismount.
It's an extremely hard dismount. You have to be so controlled. If you get just too much swing, just the tiniest amount, that bar is going to move back on you and make it almost impossible.
Well, we've seen a bunch of athletes go out and have really close calls in there already. That's gonna be so tough moving forward. But next up, we have Sam Folsom.
My boy!
Your boy, my boy too. I mean, Sam is sitting in 10th place in the UNX season, and if he makes it to the major, he's in a good spot to fight his way into the top 8, but it all comes down to this run.
And Sam has competed in all of our majors so far, the first 2, and he wants to get back. Had a really disappointing performance in St. Louis where his foot just slipped off the balance.
And we see him connecting through, beat that wall, really smooth, saves time, saves energy. I know it's a simple obstacle, but that makes a big difference. Nice.
Yes.
A single backswing there, and no hesitation, going right into Storm is coming. I mean, this is what we've seen the whole time from Sam, right? Like
just makes a big swing there.
Yep. Oh. I don't like that. I would have expected Sam to get on and off this thing really quickly.
Oh my
Sam.
gosh! So close there, but now he's onto the trampoline. Looked like he wanted to go one hand there.
Yeah,
changed his
pretty
mind
close
midair.
grab actually. You know, I'm hoping he can clean this up a little bit as he moves through the rest of the course, because this next obstacle, if you're not on top of it, it's over. We've seen it take out already. Aiden Wood we just saw, Connor Galvin, I mean, Luke Dillon, it's tough.
Nice, commits to the jump on the undercling.
Almost popping out a little bit there. Switching his hands up.
Trying to figure this out here.
I like that a lot. Switching his
that looked
hands
really
over to
good.
make that reach easier. Call comes down to this. What is he doing with his hand there?
Give him a second.
He's
He's trying to figure it out. It's the first time he's seen it.
It's true. There
Yes.
it is. Nice.
Wow. I mean, that looks really smooth.
That was about as comfortable as we've seen anybody do it. Looks so controlled. In 2 minutes.
2 minutes, now he's moving through. And Sam, he's always one of the faster athletes. And he's just going for it.
Yes. Oh, so nice.
And now he's at the last obstacle. He's got about a minute here.
Wow. About a minute left. Sam, come on. We need a hero.
I mean, I like to see this. It's been a few disappointing competitions. With Major 2, he stepped off the course. St. Louis slipped on his foot on the balance. It's good to see him back in his element.
Yep. Looks like he just over-grabbed. It's so hard, like we talked about, double blind, and you don't know where that hold is going to be. So when he's thrown his hands, he went over the top and kind of caught up and then dropped down and then kept going.
Yeah, and the other thing is, when you're making that move, you're catching a cliffhanger. It's not a bar, so as soon as your hips kind of come in front of you, it's so likely for your hands to just slip off that, because it's not a bar that you're gripping.
Right.
There's nothing really holding you back on it.
More forward momentum is a bad thing, for sure, because instead of being here, it turns into here, and now it's almost like a sloper.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I mean, that was a pretty fast pace. He was just a little bit slower than Max, I think. But Max is already qualified, and so it's a decent position for Sam to be in.
it's a pretty good position. But next up, we have Ava Long, who's already qualified, and she's taking on this course. We saw her qualify in St. Louis at Ultimate Ninjas. It's going to be her first major, but I like that she's going and continue to compete and getting a little bit more experience. And this is a tough competition. You know Major 3 is going to be super tough.
Yeah, and I like this a lot. I mean, it's just, you know you're going to the major. Let's get some more experience under your belt. That way you head into the major with a little bit more confidence.
Yeah. You know, it's really interesting for the younger athletes like Ava. You've seen other leagues she competes with.
Oh,
What happened?
I mean, it looked like she was sitting on the wall, and she couldn't reach the ring, and she went to kick off the wall to try to get to the ring, but unfortunately, in that position, your feet are just going to slip right down the wall, and so she didn't get the jump that she needed to the ring. And I think that's just maybe a technique thing, or
Just a misjudgment
Right.
in how to approach the obstacle. Wow, that's unfortunate. I expected her to honestly break through, because we've seen her do really well.
Yeah, but I think this is a very important lesson for Ava that hopefully she takes into the major. You know, obviously not doing as well as she wanted to here, but at the same time, this is going to give you such an important lesson for the third major, just to be a little bit more careful, to visualize a little bit more, and to strategize a little bit better.
Well, next up, we have Jake Murray sitting in first place in the UNX season, and he's not qualified for the third major. So we'll see how he does here. I mean, he missed out on qualifying. He ran really early in St. Louis, but
Yeah, I mean,
so smooth.
Jake performed really well at the first major, got himself so many points. And then in the second major, you know, not as well as he would have liked.
Right, those burly boards
Took out a lot of people.
took out a lot of people.
So yeah, I mean, he wants to get back to the major, but he is in first place, so
That
it's
was
an interesting
nice.
position for him right now.
Yep, for sure. I mean, in all likelihood, he's probably still going to be at the championship, even if he doesn't make the third major, but why leave it up to chance? Which is why he's here.
Exactly. And that third major, I mean, there's some prize money on the line.
Right. Looking really good here. Nice pullback. Oh, I like to see him go there.
Oh, no!
And we've talked about that dismount so much already, and for somebody like Jake to go out on that dismount, it just proves how difficult that is. And I think how important it is to get off that thing when you have momentum and not to stop at the end.
Yeah, I mean, your probability of success when you stop at the end is so much smaller than just not hesitating, getting a good pullback, just like we saw Nick Fortney do, shoot down the track and go for it.
Well, you know, and we've seen that kind of pipe slider dismount. It originated in Sasuke at the end of stage 3, and it's so tough because when you're swinging, it feels, okay, I'm locked in, but then as soon as you go for the dismount, you throw a little bit more than when you're just swinging, and so you don't have the time to feel it out. And so if you just misjudge, like we just saw with Jake, it moved on him, so you're throwing, and that thing is going away from you. You don't get that momentum you're expecting to get, and then that dismount just isn't there.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what we saw. Just, I think when he threw for the dismount, the bar slid on him and ended his run.
Wow, that is, I mean, so that means he's not going to the third major, and now we'll see. I mean, I know he's sitting in first place in the season. That's a great spot to be, but who knows, man?
No, I mean, you look at his points, and he's pretty far ahead. I don't know if I'm too worried about him not making the championship, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. And
I think it largely depends on the rest of this competition, because depending on who qualifies, like Hunter Gerard is somebody that if he qualifies and he's here, he could bump him out. Sam Folsom, you know, if that's a qualifying room, which saw from Sam, he could bump Jake out. And so it could happen, very unlikely, but I think it largely relies on who else qualifies here. And, you know, one person we don't have to worry about is Drew Drechsel, because he's already qualified, but Drew is also somebody who could be bumping Jake out at the third major.
Yeah, Drew right now wasn't able to compete in the second major. Had a baby, so congratulations.
Right, for good reason.
Yeah,
he couldn't compete.
For good reason, I mean.
I guess if you're going to have an excuse.
He's been busy, but at the same time, he's tied for 8th right now. And so getting, you know, competing in that third major, he's going to get some more points.
Look at that. What? That was so awesome. I love it from Drew. You always see something unique, and something unique that makes sense.
It's why he's the best. He's just so smart at strategizing.
I'd have a hard time thinking of somebody who's better at strategizing and coming up with different beta than Drew, in all honesty. You always see him do things that are unexpected. Let's see what he's got here. He makes it look so easy.
Smooth.
He does make it look so smooth. And here we go. He's got to get this landing. 55 seconds.
And I like that. Has the confidence. I mean, he doesn't even go around to the back sides of those holds. Doesn't waste the extra moves.
Right. Just on and off.
Just get on and off.
If you're looking to learn a little something about on obstacles and off obstacles, this is the run you want to watch. And Drew, you know, not the tallest athlete, but he's got an ape index of like +5 or something crazy, which means he's longer than he is taller by like 5 inches. Let's see how he approaches this one here.
Nice. Gets his hand up.
Really nice and controlled and clear.
So controlled. He's at 1 minute and 40 seconds.
All right, 1 minute and 50 seconds with 2 obstacles left.
And I think, like we talked about, on and off obstacles quickly. I mean, I think Drew, Joe Morosky, Daniel Gill, those guys are the ones you want to study.
Yeah, there's a handful of them for sure, and Drew is at the top of that list. Looking really controlled, skipping that top hold. I like it.
Nice.
And
Now
off.
he's at 2:22.
Yep. This is right around the fastest times we've seen here. You know, some of the young guns getting here about the same time as Drew. But Drew's always one of those athletes that is looking for completion. He knows that he's somebody who can complete the hardest obstacles. And so he's not going to try to beat you by getting there faster. He almost always looks at, I'm going to beat this course when nobody else has. And right now, he could be the first one.
And we'll see. I mean, this is such a difficult obstacle here.
Yes.
Oh, it makes the
okay.
first catch.
Come on.
This next one is so challenging.
Okay, he's turning around here. Get a hand.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Wow.
He had it for a second. He was locked in for a second.
And you know, trying something a little different there. Didn't pay off, but you know, we saw Nick Fortney get to that move and try to do it, you know, what seems like the standard way and just peel off. Drew was so close. I thought he had it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the strategy. Like, you know, to him, he got the reach. It looked pretty confident. But I would have liked to see him. I mean, he made the first transfer look so good. I would have liked to see him just make that transfer again.
Me too. I felt like I could taste our first finisher. But let's take a look at the leaderboard to see where that stacks up. And right now, that run puts Drew Drechsel in second place on time, only 3 seconds behind Nick Fortney in first. Those are the only two athletes that touched the second set of the backlash, followed by Max Feinberg, Sam Folsom, and Julius Ferguson, who all got to that last section of obstacles pretty fast.
Yeah, and Julius sitting in 5th place. We didn't see his run here, but all of our runs are posted on YouTube. You can check them out. Just search Julius, and you'll get to see his run as well.
And looking at the women's side, Caitlyn Bergstrom, Ava Calasanti, Charity LeBlanc, our top 3. And you look at our top 5, all beating Storm is Coming, but failing the dropper flop, that trampoline obstacle, not able to connect either the pipe slider or the trampoline up to the bar. It's going to be tough. I'm hoping somebody breaks through, but I would be willing to bet that is going to be the differentiating factor on the women's side.
Yeah, I mean, that one's been tough so far, and we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get back into it. Next up, we have Calle Alexander stepping up to the starting line. Got a new gym of his own in Florida. He's working on his grand opening, and now I wonder what that's been doing for his training, but you know, he's such a smooth, fast athlete. I would expect big things out of him here.
And he's getting through. Beat that wall.
One extra backswing there.
And going for the Lachey.
Wow.
Oh, a huge save there.
It was kind of unexpected, honestly, from Calle.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he was trying to set himself up to link that and maybe just didn't get forward enough.
Making his way to the Rolling Thunder. Okay.
Looked like he put his hand in that spot where the spoke comes down.
Yep, and you see him just reaching out for that bar a little early and going back. There's been a couple of little things like that so far.
See, I don't know if I like this. Taking the slower approach here.
We'll see how it goes.
You can see him looking at that side to see if it's sliding.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the slow approach, but also we've seen other athletes try to go fast and it not work out for them. All right. Got to get onto that green box.
Oof. Makes the landing.
Yeah, so far, I mean, he's moving through obstacles, he's completing obstacles, but it's kind of a shaky run, if you ask me. You know, a couple times second-guessing himself, taking extra swings. I hope he cleans it up because this obstacle has been a big differentiator.
Making his way through the undercling here. It's a big reach. You want to keep your hips and your body in as close to the wall as possible. Leading with his left foot here. I don't know if I like this. Oh, wow.
I like he used his hips to stop his body from spinning out.
You can see his left foot is on.
Oh, God. Come on, Calle. All right.
All right, but now he's at 236. You got to move here.
You've got to go. He knows it. He's got 30 seconds left on this course. I mean,
you got to go here, Calle.
Right, he's getting chalk right here. I feel like you have to move.
I mean, at this point, you just have to touch that next set on the backlash.
Yep.
3 minutes. He's only got 15 seconds left. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to be enough time here. And makes the transfer.
Yep.
He's got 5 seconds left. He's got to go. He's going to time out here. 3:15. Hits the time. He's not going to get the dismount here, so he's not going to get the points. This is not going to count here.
It's nice to see him hit the dismount, but you're right. He timed out while he was on that obstacle, so the last obstacle he completed is tired of tires. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's pump or fatigue, but didn't see the urgency when the time was, getting close, that you just have to move.
Yeah, I mean, when you know that you're close on time, you have to just, hey, I got to sprint through this whether I have the energy or not. And
you got no choice,
right. Yeah.
But next up, we have Phil Folsom, Sam Folsom's younger brother. What an exciting athlete. We've seen him crushing it. Warrior Jungle was probably one of the most exciting runs ever from Phil. And
well,
here he is.
just watch the way that he attacks every obstacle. He sprints in with reckless abandon, just goes for it.
But he's a younger athlete, and he's a lot shorter than some of the adults that he's competing against. You have to attack it if you even want a chance. Oh!
I mean, he's just swinging one arm through some of this.
Oh
my gosh!
The Folsoms know something we don't. Here we go. And this is a big Lachey.
Oh, is he going to connect?
Oh! Could you imagine?
He had his hips back. I thought he might go for it. Yes!
Phil!
Well, I mean, these two brothers,
I love this kid.
They train together, and it's one of the reasons we've seen Sam be so successful is the confidence that he has in making some of these moves, and we see the exact same thing from Phil.
This is awesome. Oh,
he's going for looks like he's trying to Lachey here.
There we go.
Okay.
I feel like we haven't seen other athletes do that, but because he doesn't have the reach, I feel like that was a smart move for him.
I do feel like that was smart. Shorter reach, and you're going up to a spinning bar.
Wow.
That was the smoothest we've seen.
I wonder, being a little lighter, if that helps, but dude, this is going to be...
Oh, no, Phil.
That's the end of Phil's run, unfortunately. Awesome run. Oh, it's always so much fun to watch him compete.
It's so much fun, and that ends his UNX season for season 1. But look out for this kid in any leagues at NNL, UNAA. If he's competing, watch out for him.
Yeah, agreed. Next up, we have Hunter Gerard stepping up to the starting line, and Hunter looking to make his way back. He's sitting in 12th place in the UNX season, so he has to get back if he wants to make it to the championship, which I think he could if he gets back to the major.
Oh, if he gets back to the major, there's a really good shot for him at the championship.
Oh, look at that. It's so like the power there's reason behind the power,
Yeah, exactly. And this is such an important run to watch. If you're following Caleb Bergstrom not going to be at the third major, and this is one of those athletes that could potentially bump him out.
Yeah, Caleb's sitting in 5th place, which is not a great spot to be in. 4th place,
Fourth
actually.
place, sorry. We just got our stat guy, looked it up. He's sitting in 4th place right now.
But right now we have Hunter Gerard making his way through, and I would expect Hunter not to stop at the end here. Personally, just
I think he's going to pull back, and
There we go.
His shoulders were a little bit back, made me nervous he would lose balance there, but made it work.
Nice little one-arm grab there, pull back, zip, zap, zoo, right on through. Oh, camera malfunction there. Doesn't affect Hunter at all. He's still moving.
You can see clarifying with Caleb. If he can use the side of that wall, he can.
Yep. Hunter, another athlete, not the tallest athlete, but has a humongous positive ape index. And you can see him using it to his advantage on the undercling here.
Now he's got to make this move.
More clarification on the obstacle.
Hey, you can never be too careful.
Oh! Wow, doesn't even use the last hold. I love it.
I don't know if I love it. I mean, that was so close. I think there was a little bit of luck there.
It was pretty close. Hunter's never lucky. He knows what he's doing. Here he goes at 2 minutes and 25 seconds. So a good amount of time.
I'd like to see him start moving, though. And he's going to go for the two-hand, pop up. Yep,
popping through.
Yes.
Well, I like that.
Gets a lot of swing there. Yep. I love to see. Oh,
that's okay.
Hits the pad.
Incidental's fine. And cleared. All right, now we're at 250, and he knows it. He's got 25 seconds left.
Yeah, he's got to start moving here.
I mean, if he touches that second set, then he'll be in a good spot. But it all comes out of this catch.
15 seconds. Got to catch this. Oh, no.
And he knows it.
Yep.
He grabbed way too high over the top part. And I actually talked to him afterwards, and as what happened, he's like, I caught it. I was like, man, this hold's really good. And then he's like, oh, wait. And so he popped down. I was like, no, it just, and it's interesting because with UNX rules, if you ever make a missed grab like that, the rule is you're not disqualified. You have to go back to the previous hold and redo the move. He jumped off because he knew he missed grab, but I was getting ready to yell at him, you have to go back to the first part and redo, which I don't know if he would have been able to do, but kind of would have liked to see him try.
I mean, going back to the first one would have been really hard, but I do really like to see that from Hunter. He knew he grabbed where he wasn't supposed to, kind of didn't even need Caleb to DQ him, called himself out.
Exactly.
And I mean, there's so much integrity there from Hunter.
Right, great sportsmanship, and I mean, he's been around a ton of competitions. He just knows how these things go, and yeah, not trying to like pull one over on anybody,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, that was relatively slow getting to that point. I don't know if that's going to be a qualifying run for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to see. But up next, we've got Travis Rust.
Was that our first major? Yeah.
At our first major, we'll see if he can make it back.
Right. Had a disappointing exit at the first major, going out pretty early. But
him and Jesse Lebrecht did about the same thing on the second obstacle.
Yeah, that was tough. But it's just a simple mistake, and you know that Travis is really good. So I'm expecting him to come back here and hopefully take a qualifying spot. Oh!
Ooh, almost pulled that wall over. Beat that wall or break that wall. Well, Travis, 22nd on the season. He's got 28 points. Not too bad,
I mean, if he makes it to the third major, qualifying is an option. He's going to have to crush it at the third major, but it's doable. And moving his way on to Storm's coming. Making a lot of moves here.
Yeah, making a lot of moves.
But he's through. Let's see how Travis does. On the drop or flop. Okay.
I mean, he's a taller competitor. He can almost reach the trampoline.
Wow, that was really nice. The bar didn't move at all. Nicely done. And got to stay on that green box.
Oh, no. He knows it. He knows. He made the dismount, but he was a little off balance. You could see his back foot hit the black. And unfortunately, I mean, there's really no incidental contact there. That's it.
And we've been talking about that dismount a lot today. It's a small dismount. You have to be really precise, and it's you're dropping from pretty high up. Yeah, and unfortunately, just that back foot touching down. Next up,
that's tough.
we have Rachel Beth Drake, another really young athlete. She's been close to qualifying. She missed out on qualifying at Ninja Quest, actually, her second ever qualifier, by 1 spot.
Yeah, Rachel, one of our younger competitors. She's been competing in a couple UNX competitions and definitely. Oh my gosh!
Well, she's a shorter athlete and stuff like that, like a trampoline jump that's trivial for Drechsel or Jake Murray. For her, that's something you got to look at, and she barely gets her fingertips on top of it.
I love that. Just one arm swing through, catch the next wall.
I like we're seeing a lot of control here, comfortably making those launches. Here we go. These are big laches. Wow, this looked pretty smooth for her.
Yeah, no, it looked pretty casual there. And the drop on the bar.
Mm-hmm. And a clear. All right. Now we're on a Storm's coming. Even something like this, like just getting onto these orange holds before the Rolling Thunder is a jump for her.
Which a lot of other athletes just have to reach up to.
Mm-hmm.
Nice pull there.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Remember, touching that bar is a clear on Storm's coming. And she's got the clear.
Now, I mean, we'll see. This is kind of a big reach for her if she does what Phil did and laches up. Oh! Well, yeah. You could see. Yeah, I mean, you could see she tried to mix grip the bar because it's a spinning bar. I mean, when you go two hands this way, the bar's going to spin on you. You really want to go mix grip to lock it in, but she unfortunately punched it with her hand and couldn't get it around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she had the height, she had the distance, she was right there, but you're right, just punched the bar and couldn't hold on. But that was a great run from Rachel Drake.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it a couple times now, but she's another athlete to watch going forward whenever she competes.
Mm-hmm. Another younger athlete, Elijah Browning, stepping up. We've seen him put together some powerful runs, especially St. Louis. He was looking great and then had a small slip on the wing nuts that took his run out, but he's so fast. I'm excited to see his run here.
Well, this is his third week competing in a row. Competed just last week at Real Life Ninja Academy, 2 weeks ago at St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
This kid's trying to get to that major.
Yeah, I love it. I like that, turning around and getting extra swing there. Nice and controlled. You know, he's always wearing his hat when he runs, and we typically see the hat come off at some point, fly off his head during a lache or something. Is this going to be the moment?
Wow.
The hat stays on. I can't believe it.
Yes,
wow.
Connects the last part of that. Really smooth from Elijah there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Elijah's competed a lot in UNX too, and I think he knows as well, finish the course.
Yeah, finish the course. And I like that we're seeing an aggressive pace here from him. He's moving pretty quickly.
Pull back. He's a little, you can see his hips were a little off. I'm glad he didn't try to make the move there to the trampoline.
All right, let's dismount. Oh,
you can see sliding back. You don't want to get too much backswing. Keep an eye on that bar.
Hey, okay.
Nice. Didn't move at all.
That makes me so nervous watching that dismount.
I hate it.
Here we go. I love it.
Nice.
Didn't move. We saw it, same thing with Drew Drechsel. Didn't move his hands to the back of the bar, not making extra moves, and just the confidence to dismount without having to spend extra time and energy.
Yeah, exactly. No need to make an extra move.
If you don't have to.
If you don't have to.
Yeah. You're a younger competitor, but taller, longer, using his reach here. Oh, good save.
Close there.
Here we go. This last catch. Nice, and he's doing it the controlled way. I love it. Wow, that was really nice. Don't forget about agility. He's got a minute
don't skip
left.
that obstacle.
Cleared and skipping the last tire. Now he's got 55 seconds left on the clock, and a little chalk before the missiles. Nice.
And he's making it look good. He's at 2:30. Oh!
Wow. And there
goes the hat.
Here we go.
Oh, I like it.
And he hit his feet down. He was trying to do, we saw it earlier, pop back, catch an immediate dismount. And unfortunately, I think he had too much swing, so he caught extended and just slammed his feet down, which not incidental at that point.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely incidental contact where you barely swipe, but you could see his knees hit pretty hard onto the mat there.
Right. Next up, we have David Wright. Was a rookie on A&W this past year and came out strong, had a breakout performance in his first year. Really fast, really strong athlete. I'm excited to watch his run.
David Wright, known for loving cake.
The Cake Ninja.
But who doesn't? We're all cake ninjas.
But he's got it on his shirt, you know? That's commitment.
Nice, making his way over these walls.
Good. Looking controlled.
Yes,
Nice.
yes,
Nice.
yes.
Oh, yes, I love it.
Love to see it. It's just, there's something about just knowing that the athlete has that confidence to go for it.
Yep.
Love it.
Confidence in the skill. The combination is powerful. And it kind of sets the tone for the rest of his run, you know?
Well, he's locking off here, holding up pretty high on the Rolling Thunder.
Ooh, I like that power.
Yes,
Nice.
yes, yes, yes.
David Wright is so confident on this course right now.
I like what I'm seeing, Swan.
He's at a minute
I like
and
what
5
I'm
seconds.
seeing.
He's at a minute and 5 seconds. This is such a great run already, and there's more left.
Well, this is the obstacle that my heart kind of stops on because it's so controlled, it's so static. You don't want to see a foot slip.
He's moving through pretty comfortably, though.
Yeah, he's looking good.
I'm not sure how I feel about this reach here. We've seen it take out a couple of athletes. I like it. Okay, I like that dismount. In a minute and 40 seconds. This is so fast.
Nice, he's through the tires.
About a minute and a half left.
Plenty of time. You can see Caleb running in there, reminding him he's got to start
Yep.
on the missiles. I think he was just getting into position.
Right. And you could use that first step to get into the missiles, so that's okay. But you can't use it to get, like, up 3 steps, you know?
Right. Nice
clear.
dismount. And now he has one obstacle left. He's got 1 minute left.
We've seen people get close, and Dave is looking so good so far. Can he be the first person to break through?
Well, we'll see what kind of cliffhangers, fingertip strength he's got. This is such a hard move, not only to catch, but to have the strength to hold on.
This obstacle is so difficult in so many different ways. If you don't have all different aspects covered, let's see.
Gotta get those hips up. Another athlete there got his hands up really high, and I think he was over the top a little bit, but couldn't come down and make the catch on the ledge.
This backlash is eating premier athletes up, eating some of the best athletes up over and over and over.
Yeah, but honestly, I love the pace that he was on. That's gonna be hard to beat.
I do too, but like at this point I'm thinking, are we gonna get a finisher? You know, we've only had one other qualifier that didn't have a finisher, Austin Ninjas, which was brutal. I mean, we've seen Drew Drechsel, Nick Forney, David Wright, a bunch of athletes get here, Hunter Girard, and not break through. I know we have a bunch of great athletes left, but I'm getting kind of nervous.
Well, this course will definitely be brought up in the conversation of which qualifier was the hardest in season 1. But yeah, I mean, up next we've got Joe Capo stepping up.
What a great athlete. I know we say this for a handful of athletes, but Joe is one of the guys that I feel is so strong, so smooth, and we just haven't seen him put together that perfect run yet to get him in a qualifying spot.
Yeah, certainly capable.
You know, he trains with, Anthony DeFranco and Connor Galvin on the East Coast, and hasn't gone great for those two guys in their runs, but we'll see what Joe can put together here.
Well, don't forget his girlfriend, Abby Clark, who it has gone great for.
Yes.
A little close there with his heels.
Yeah. But he made it. That's the important part. Oh, I love this. Yes. Oh, don't waste time in that Rolling Thunder. Just get over with it.
Let's see the same pullback here. Yup, hips up high.
Do it.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
So awesome when you see their hips go up so high. You know they're going to have the power to make it to
Yep.
the trampoline.
And look at that. He only used 2 of those holds, the first bar and then that second cliffhanger. confident. He's at 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Jumps to it. I mean, we've seen a lot of athletes go static to that. The jump scares me.
Yeah. Well, it's like we said, no one's been able to see. It's actually interesting. We see a lot of athletes reaching like this and kind of doing similar beta, but here it breaks off. So many people do different ways because you can't see what the other athletes are doing. Wow.
Nice. I mean, that was about as smooth as you could ask for on the dismount there.
Joe's looking great. He's at 1 minute 45. He's got 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time to finish this course. And now he's on the missiles.
We'll see what Joe does here. Using 2 hands. He's got to make this 180 move. Good.
Nice. That was really good.
All right, just keep your feet up. Control this dismount.
Okay.
Nice.
2:21 and about 50 seconds left. This is right on pace with some of the fastest to this point. I'm just hoping he can relax. I want to see him rest a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked to see some more rest here. At this point, you just got to touch that second one. It's such a difference maker. See if he can catch it. Oh, he had his fingers on it.
He was in the
He
right
had
spot.
his fingers on it.
He was in the right spot. I don't know if he put his hands and didn't expect it or wasn't fully committed to pulling it in. I have no idea, but it looks like he was there.
Well, I think, again, it's another product of you're holding onto a cliffhanger, and yeah, you can get your fingers on it, make the catch, but as soon as your hips start to come in front of you, when you make that catch, it's going to want to pull your fingers away from it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that that's what happened because it looked like his hands were in a great spot to make the catch.
I wonder, we talked about the rest. I wonder if he would have rested a little bit longer, if he would have had a little bit more strength to pull that in, even if he hit it the same way.
Oh,
I don't know. It's hard to tell, but a great run from Joe. We'll see if that is fast enough. He got there really quickly, but a lot of athletes have gotten there right around the same time. We'll see.
Yeah, next up we've got Jamie Ross stepping up to the starting line.
We saw her compete in the first ever UNX qualifier, the first and the last, starting us off and close us out. Jamie.
Well, she's not closing us out. It's not our last runner, but.
Stumbling a little bit over the wall. That's no problem. She trains up in Minnesota, and she actually just moved out to Florida. But she historically has trained with Kyle Soderman, Hunter Gerard, and I feel like a course like this that's really technical is right up her alley.
Yeah, I mean, what a group to train with up there in Minnesota.
No kidding.
But now we'll see how she does on these laches.
I would expect the laches to be very comfortable. They at Obstacle Academy, Hunter's Gym, they always set up. Look at that.
So smooth there.
They do so many laches there all the time. Nice.
I mean, you could see there's so much confidence there in each one of those moves. Yep. Oh, almost stepped back. Saves it, though. I'm a little worried about the pace here because this obstacle has proven to be such a differentiator on the women's side.
Yeah, and really, it's about how fast you touch the bar after the Rolling Thunder. And, she's resting right here. I don't like that decision. I think, especially because you touch that bar, and then really, you can take a rest on the trampoline when you get there,
Yeah, but at the same time, do you rest here and then just complete it?
I mean, if you do that, yeah, that's great. But nobody's been able to do it on the women's side so far.
Well, it is a big move. We'll see if Jamie can make this.
There we go, and that's a clear.
I like it. She's got her hand on it. Okay. Going for the static approach. You don't want too much swing here. Yes, 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 yes.
Wow, really nice.
Okay, just make this jump. Come on, Jamie.
She's at about 2 minutes. Rest, finish this obstacle. Come on, show us.
You got to make a pretty aggressive cliffhanger transfer.
Here we go. And just comes up short. I mean, Jamie is such a strong athlete, especially lower body strength. I'm kind of surprised she wasn't able to get up there, but it's so difficult to hit a trampoline with no run-up. And I think that's the thing. It's a big jump, and you have no run-up. It's hard to get your body in the right position.
Yeah, so we saw Caitlyn go out in the same way, and I think you're right. Without the run-up, it's hard to generate the power.
Next up, we have Cecilia Pinheiro stepping up, and she's taking on the course. Chalk on her pants, a little stumble on the rope there. No problem. And that's a clear right there, and on to beat that wall.
Big pull back here. Got to make your way to that next wall. Oh!
And I think, you know, she's probably thinking, I got to get through this quickly, which is the case. I think, you know, on the women's side, they're getting through pretty quickly. They're not taking a lot of extra swings, and she just ended up forcing that launch.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a little bit forced, and I think, you know, she's definitely a shorter competitor, and so it's just a big reach on each one of those rings. I would have liked to see her line it up a little bit more, but you could see her shoulders were a little bit too far in front of her hips, so she couldn't get her feet around to the wall.
Right. Tough exit for Cecilia. But next up, we have Ashley McConville, who is at our second major. I think, you know, didn't perform as well as she wanted to, but this is also her home gym, and she's so strong. I'm thinking Ashley's going to be the first woman to get past that trampoline jump.
I mean, we'll see. She is shorter. I mean, she's got amazing upper body strength. The lower body does worry me a little bit to see if she can generate the power without a run-up like we've been saying.
But she's got a gymnastics background, and she's, you know, reach-wise, a longer athlete, has a little bit extra reach. So I think that combined with, she's just so good. She's so skilled and talented. I think she's going to put it together.
Both these laches, especially with her gymnastics background, not something I'm worried about for her.
No, and I've seen her do insane laches, and look at, she's catching it with her momentum, one backswing, and easily making all the next launches.
Well, I really like the pace here, and she's gonna go right into this here.
I think it's smart. It's so smart to go right into it, especially she's been really efficient so far, not really needing to take a rest. Love it. Keep that swing and go for it.
Well, her hips are a little crooked. You can see she was getting a little bit of a circular swing, but does make the move to the bar, so that's a clear.
And going for the static here.
She's got to get to the trampoline.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
Come on.
Got to make this jump. She's got her foot at the very front of the trampoline there.
Testing out the tramp a little bit. Come on, Ashley. Oh,
she just couldn't make the jump.
And just coming up a little bit short. Looks like she got her fingertips on the bar, but a little bit short in height.
Yeah, it just worries me. I mean, that's such a big, big jump, especially without a run-up like you said in the last run.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't that many women's athletes left. I mean, that's almost certainly going to be the cutoff. How fast can you get through the Rolling Thunder section, touch that bar? I wonder if we're going to see women's athletes start to blaze through that first section, knowing that now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's going to be tough now.
Next up, we have Todd Bourgeois stepping up onto the starting line. This is the first UNX we've seen him compete in.
I think he was down in Ninja Quest. So I think this might be his second.
Might be. I'll have to check my sources.
Where's our stat guy? Derek!
Either way, very impressive athlete. Surprised he's got his shirt on, to be honest.
Definitely surprised that he's got a shirt on.
He's making his way through the first sections here, no problem. Getting a little bit of chalk. Oh, love it.
Jumps right into it.
Yes.
I love to see athletes when they catch that bar, it unhooks from the magnets, and it just, nice gentle swing to the dismount.
I just love counter-weighted stuff in general, because like you're saying, you can connect it so much easier. Man, he's looking really smooth here.
Did everyone hear that? Ethan Swanson loves counter-weighted stuff. If you're competing in a major, take note.
I don't think that's a big secret at this point. Todd's having some trouble on the end of this.
Well, you can see he's getting a little bit too much swing. Okay, going back now. He's probably going to try to make this move where he gets his hips up. Not enough pullback there. Oh, my gosh.
Not enough pullback, huh? He proved you wrong.
I don't know how he did that with such little pullback.
He's strong, baby.
He is strong, baby.
I love it, though, and that's a great veteran move. Is you're struggling with a move over and over, change it up. And he just went right back and immediately put it together. This isn't working. And this is bad news if I keep trying to force it to work.
Well, it definitely ate up some time, so now I'd like to see him settle down a little bit.
I mean, can you settle down, though? Like, we've seen the time be an issue for a lot of athletes. I feel like you can't on this course. If you get caught up, you have to go faster now.
I think for this specific obstacle, you need to settle down for this. You know, your feet are on tiny ledges. You don't want to pop off. You need to be controlled here, and I think he can sprint once he's done with this.
When you put it like that, it makes a lot of sense. But here we go. This is the part that's taken out a lot of athletes.
Oh, no! He got his hand around the wall, but didn't get enough pull to get him to the dismount platform.
Got his feet on the corner. And I thought he had it for a second, but just fell right back. And unfortunately, it's the end of Todd's run. But next up, we have Elena Borges sitting in third place overall in the season, not qualified for the third major yet. Had, I think, a disappointing run, ran early at St. Louis Ultimate Ninjas. But here we go. She knows what she has to do.
We've seen Elena break through. You know, she was one of only 2 finishers at that first major. She is such an impressive athlete.
She is very impressive, and I like the speed and fluidity we're seeing here. Look at, like, just getting up and over that wall and taking a look and going right away, you know? She's not really hesitating, which we don't really ever see her hesitate. I mean, Elena's been proven over and over and over she's one of the top athletes out here. There's a reason she's sitting in third place overall.
Yeah, and I mean, her first competition at Ninja Quest.
Nice, wow. I'm sorry, you were saying?
No, this is...
I'm distracted. She's doing so awesome. She looks so smooth on those laches.
But I mean, this is what we've seen in her first competition down at Ninja Quest. This is why I picked her for the first major to be my, like, up-and-coming athlete to watch, is because the way that she attacks these courses, she doesn't hesitate.
She's at about 1 minute and 5 seconds right now. Right on up. I love it. Yes.
Doesn't waste time making extra moves on the wheel.
And here we go. Going for the slow dismount.
Oh, yes!
Yes, Elena,
Yes!
what a save.
Okay, she makes the save, holds on tight to that trampoline, but now this worries me if she's gonna have the momentum or the power because she's a shorter competitor. Oh, no!
Elena! Wow, that was the closest we've seen any of the women's athletes get. Had both hands on it. Oh, man. 1 millimeter away.
She was so close, had her hands on it.
That was so awesome. And it's crazy. She is, I wouldn't say she's like maybe a leg strength as powerful as like Ash McConroe, Caitlyn Bergstrom. That goes to show you how good her technique is. She's shorter than those athletes, and she was the closest one there.
Well, she's shorter and she's younger, and so, I mean, it...
Elena Borges, man.
So
Elena Borges.
close.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, that puts her in a great spot. She got there in a great time, and keep an eye out.
Yeah, you know. Well, next up we have Jackson Twait stepping up to the starting line. You know, we've seen Jackson compete at UNX before at Warrior Jungle. He ran really early, and he told me after, he's like, yeah, I didn't really go that fast. I didn't know what to expect. So now he knows what to expect, and I think we're going to see him go a little faster here, which he's certainly capable of.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson burst onto the ninja scene last year, going up against you on the Power Tower.
Yeah, and he had me beat for almost all of it. He's a competitor, man.
Absolutely.
Nice, just going right for it. Oh, a little camera malfunction there. Oh! A little hesitation. That's okay. Here we go. On to Storm is coming.
Nice.
Wow, that was really efficient.
Come on, get a big, nice pull back here. Yes, hips up and go.
Nicely
Yes.
done. That was great.
I mean, it was amazing. Got his hips up nice and high.
To the green box, stay on it.
Now I just got to get to that green box.
Nice.
There we go. There we go. Here we go. You know, longer athlete, I would expect that he's going to go static on these, just like we've seen a bunch of athletes do. Just make those reaches pretty easy. Looking controlled.
So controlled, so static. I'm holding my breath over here.
But I think this is the moment. This is the move. And he's able to statically
Well,
reach that.
he's a taller athlete. I mean, he's making this look pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Gotta get around this corner, though. Nice.
Nicely done.
All right, I'd like to see him go here. Just go right into this.
He's at 2 minutes. Just a little slower pace than the fastest athletes we've seen. So at this point, I think he's going to have to touch the second set. He's going to have to beat this obstacle, touch the second set of backlash, if not beat the course. That looks really nice.
Yeah, he's making this look good, for sure. Yep, all right, here we go. On to backlash. Got about
2:30.
45 seconds-ish.
So I think at this point it's tough because obviously you want to beat the course, but most importantly, I think you want to touch that second set. Only Nick Fordney and Drew have done it so far.
Oh, no.
And you see, as he launched, you see he hit his hands underneath first, and then was actually amazing. He hit his hands, and then it was like, and then in the split second, it was like, oh, and still almost caught it.
Well, the problem is that whole apparatus drops down, and so it's hard to predict where it's going to drop.
That is a problem.
And so, yeah, just like you said, it's super impressive that he actually hit it on the front side and then still got around.
Yeah, and it almost held it. That was so close. But next up, we have China Hart stepping up to the starting line. And we haven't seen any women get past that trampoline jump. Only a couple of women's competitors left.
She's a little crooked there. Okay, fixes it, straightens out.
Yep. Taking an extra swing.
Nice.
Here we go.
Well, I mean, China is definitely taller, so I think if she can get to the trampoline, she's got a good chance at making that grab.
For sure. I think that's what it's all coming down to right now. If you make that grab, you make the dismount to the green box, then you're moving on. You're qualified. Nice grab. It's a big lâché.
Oh, no, she just comes up a little bit short on the grab to the next for the trapeze.
It looked like she almost like barely got that first lâché, and so I was worried if she was lining up to go to the trapeze bar because it's another big launch.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that ends China's run. I thought she had a really good chance if she had gotten to the trampoline, but unfortunately, that's it.
Fortunately, that's it. And now we have Caden Lebsack stepping up, already qualified for the third major, but he has been crushing it. Absolutely crushing. He took first place overall at Ultimate Ninja St. Louis. And here he is, and he's running late in the run order. I'm hoping we see our first clear here. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, the grip strength that we've seen from Caden has been amazing all throughout this whole UNX season. And so if anybody's going to beat those backlash cliffhanger grabs, my bet's on Caden.
He's got to get there first, but once again, he's already qualified. And so, you know, he's not really running with a lot of nerves. I feel like he's running under great conditions.
But Caden's certainly an athlete. I mean, I wouldn't say with anything to prove, but I think, puts a lot on himself to compete. And I mean, I don't want to say he's got no pressure, but I think he does. He puts some pressure on himself. Just, he wants to go out there. He wants to win.
You're right. You're definitely right. And there's certainly pressure, even though he's already qualified. He wants to do well. Oh. Wow.
So smooth. I mean, you could see him kind of correct on his backswing, arches his back. Bar doesn't even move at all.
Right, and that's the thing is we've seen other athletes have less swing in that bar move on them. It's so technical, and he has that technique down. And that's the thing is, like, you talk about his grip strength, and which he has a lot of, don't get me wrong, but we've seen his technicality a ton also. I mean, St. Louis Ultimate Ninjas was a very technical course, and this is a technical obstacle. I don't really worry too much about Caden on this stuff.
He's flying through this right now.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna go for this. And I mean, he's walking through this course, and he's at 1 minute and 50 seconds. I mean,
1 minute and 55 seconds at this point, and like that undercling obstacle, you can't chalk that up to like, he's running later, he's seen the beta. He doesn't have any beta on that obstacle.
Right, nobody has seen it. It's away from the competitors. You can't see what's going on.
Right, and he did that dismount about as smooth as we've seen anybody. Nicely done, good transfer.
And I mean, just watching this run, you know that this kid is going to be somebody to watch out for in this third major.
It's so special to watch Caden run, and right now, man, like, we know he's already qualified, but we got to see a finisher. He's got 45 seconds left. He's got time to rest. You know he has the strength. Can he put it together?
Oh, come on, Caden.
Here we go.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. Wow, so smooth.
That was smooth. Can he do it again on the second one? Yes. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Caden.
One more catch.
Can he be the first finisher?
No. Caden. He was so close. He was so close. I think he just missed one of his hands.
He looked so good on every single grab there.
Yeah.
Except the last one.
Man, this kid is so special. He made it further into the course, made more moves in this course than anybody else here. And this is one of the most stacked competitions we've ever seen. Not only just UNX, just in general. How is this possible? This 14-year-old kid is doing this stuff.
But I mean, it just proves how good he is. I mean, time and again, he competes so consistently. He doesn't make any silly mistakes. He looks so comfortable on these courses. He's amazing.
I am so excited for the third major, man. I am so excited for him to be there and compete. I can't imagine he doesn't make top 8 and go to the championship. But we're not done yet. We have a couple more competitors left. Next up is Brady Parks stepping up to the starting line. And Brady Parks, one of the younger athletes competing in UNX qualifiers. We've seen him before. He's pretty fast, pretty smooth. We'll see how he puts together his run here at Jungle Gym.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way that these younger competitors are coming out and competing in these UNX events. I mean, they spend so much time at the gym, they put so much work in, and it's just showing this season.
It has been amazing to watch young competitors like Brady come out and do really well against some of the adults, more experienced athletes. They're in the gym, like you're saying, he's probably at the gym 4 or 5 days a week, multiple hours at a time, and it shows, like, he's just so confident on the course.
Well, now he's taking on these laches, and link. Yes!
Yes! I mean, it's just what we're talking about, the confidence. He's obviously got the skill, but a lot of athletes have the skill to do that, and it's the confidence to do it when it matters most, where a little mistake means your run is completely over.
And this, too, right here. I mean, he takes one backswing there, pulls back, and just launches to the bar.
He's making great time. He's under a minute still, 55 seconds. We'll see this dismount is taking out some competitors. Wow.
So smooth. Doesn't even make it look hard. And his whole run looks so smooth right now.
Yeah, he's looking great so far, but he's getting into problem areas now. This is where we start to see the level of difficulty ramp up like crazy. We've seen some big name athletes go out right here and on the obstacles following. So we'll see how Brady does. When you have to slow it down, you got to be so controlled.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit shorter. We'll see how these reaches are for him. He's making this one look okay, but I'm worried about the last one.
I don't like his footwork here. He was reaching before he got his feet set, but he fixed it. He's looking good. I'd like to see him switch his feet. Yes, perfect, before he makes his hand move over.
Right, I mean, this has been the move that's been so challenging all day today.
Right.
Okay, I think he's
Taking
gonna
a pause and looking at it.
I think he's gonna run for it. I mean, you could see with the way that he was positioning his body, he was trying to just take one step on the foothold and launch himself. But I think when you do that, you come out too far from the wall, and you're not going to get around that corner.
Well, we've seen some athletes do that specific move, but like, they've had to explode off their legs a little bit more, get a little bit higher so they can pull through off that hold quicker. I think we just didn't see him get high enough, so he's kind of pulling like at the undercling from below and just can't pull through that move.
Yeah, I mean, that's been such a challenging move all day today, and unfortunately takes out another one.
Next up, though, we have our last runner of the day, Taylor Johnson. You know, she was just at Real Life Ninja Academy. Unfortunately, she flipped over flight risk and touched her hands and DQ'd, but she's an amazing athlete, and, you know, she could potentially bump out one of our top 3 women and get into the qualifying spot here.
Well, again, oh no!
Oh, no. Wow.
I mean, you could see it
And
in her reaction.
Yeah.
Just a total slip, total mistake there.
Yeah, I don't know if she was looking ahead at later on in the obstacle and just thinking, yeah, it's, you know, descending steps, it's going to be easy. And I think it is a relatively easy obstacle unless you just completely miss a foot like that. And, man, that's... honestly, she's got a gymnastics background. She's shorter, but I was looking at her as one of the athletes that could have gotten that trampoline jump potentially if she would have gotten there.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a shocking fall right there. And you could see, I mean, and maybe you're right, maybe she was overlooking it, but you definitely want a lot of speed heading into that obstacle. And yeah, unfortunately for Taylor, that ends her run.
Right. Well, let's take a look at the leaderboard, starting with the women's side, to see where that puts everybody. And we see, looking at our leaderboard, Ash McConville sitting in first place, getting through. Storm is coming at 113.6, followed by Lena Borges, 4 seconds behind her, and Caitlyn Bertram taking the 3rd qualifying spot. It literally came down to who could get to that pipe slider faster. I mean, we see all of our top 5 women got to the same spot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that trampoline jump was really big, and unfortunately, we didn't see any of the women get through that.
Elena was so close.
Elena was so close, had her hands on it, just peeled off. But yeah, and unfortunately, Ava Colasanti will not be coming back to the 3rd major.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. She's so strong. We saw her center court, how strong she is, but that'll be the end of her season, unfortunately. And on the men's side, we have, really the last obstacle was just a killer. No finishers, but taking the 1st place spot, Caden Lebsack, actually getting further onto that obstacle than anybody else, but just couldn't make that last catch.
Just one more move. You just had to make one more move. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
But just another solid performance for Caden, and something that it's just awesome to see the momentum he's going to have heading into the 3rd major. But then in 2nd place and getting a qualifying spot is Nick Fortney.
I'm so happy for Nick, especially after St. Louis. He finished the course 2 seconds over the time limit and missed out on qualifying. I'm so happy to see him get to the majors for the first time. But following him, Drew Drechsel already qualified. The only other athlete to make that first catch on Backlash. All the other athletes, that are in qualifying spots just got there quick enough. David Wright making his way to the majors for the first time, followed by Max Feinberg, already qualified.
Yeah, Max qualified out. So heading in 6th place, we got to take the 6th place athlete, is Sam Folsom. He's coming back to the 3rd major. I am so excited. Squeaks in there.
You can't get rid of this kid.
You can't get rid of him.
He's fighting his way back.
But he's got a lot of points on the season, and so this makes it really interesting for the 3rd major, because now he's given himself a good chance at that championship.
Well, we have a handful of athletes competing that are on the bubble or just outside of it, and Sam is just outside. He's sitting in 10th place on the season. So this 3rd major, he clawed his way back in. The last qualifier in the last qualifying spot to get to the 3rd major, and he's outside of that top 8 bubble right now. I'm so excited. I mean, he's got to know that it's all on the line for Major 3 to make it, just to get to the championship. Let's see if he can keep edging his way in.
Well, it doesn't matter how you get there. It just matters if you get there.
Yep.
And, Sam is sitting in 10th place. And, that's the thing that we got to watch out for now for Caleb Bergstrom, who is sitting in 4th. Everyone behind him, all the way down to Sam Folsom, who's in 10th, is coming back to the major, and so it's going to be close for Caleb.
And we'll be going over all those clinching scenarios in more depth on Fast Forward, but it's not looking good for Caleb, I'll say that.
We'll see, we'll see.
We will see, but for our next stop, we're going to be going to the third and final major event. We have all of our athletes set for the third major. We have our leaderboards set for, going to be changing a little bit in seeing who our top 8 men and women for our championship for the first UNX season are going to be in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, so in a couple weeks. Make sure you guys come back for UNX Fast Forward. We're going to be breaking down so much stuff. We're going to go over the recap for Jungle Gym, but then going over all the stuff for the major. So make sure you guys come back to check it out.
Yep. But until next time, I'm Ethan Swanson.
And I'm Chris Ganji. We'll see you guys next time.